Somewhere not far from you, there is a retiree who has paid more in property tax than the law ever asked of them, every single year. They paid the bill the day it arrived, the way responsible people do, and they have no idea that for years now, their county has had a program with their name practically written on it. A senior break that would have quietly knocked hundreds of dollars off that bill, sometimes more, year after year. Nobody mailed them a reminder. Nobody called. It was just sitting there, on a county website, behind a form they never knew to ask for. That retiree could be you. Or it could be your mother, your neighbor, the man 2 doors down who waves every morning. And here is the part that catches people off guard. In most of the country, this relief does not come to you. You have to go and ask for it. And almost nobody does. So here is exactly what I'm going to hand you today, and I want you to hold me to it. By the end of these few minutes, you'll have the one phone call to your county that can cut your property tax for years, and the exact words to say when someone picks up. You won't have to remember anything complicated. One call, a few plain sentences, and I'll walk you right up to it before we're done. Now, I know how the world has trained you to hear a sentence like, "The government has a program that saves you money." After all the robocalls and the official-looking junk mail, that sets off every alarm bell you own. Good. Keep those alarm bells. But stay with me, because this one is real. It's run by your own local government, and the only person who profits from your not knowing about it is the tax office that gets to keep collecting the full amount. First, let me be honest with you about one thing, plainly. This is general information, not personal tax or legal advice, and I can't tell you the exact dollars for your home. Because, and this is the whole heart of today, the rules are different in every state and often every county. What I can do is teach you the shape of these programs, show you which kind you likely qualify for, and hand you the one call that finds your number. So let's start with what this actually is. Local governments tax your home based on its value. USA.gov puts it plainly. Your local government taxes your land and home, and the amount depends on the market value. As you get older, on a fixed income, that bill can climb even when nothing about your life got easier. So most states built in relief for seniors, and it generally comes in one of 3 shapes. Learn these 3 shapes and you'll know what to ask for. The first shape is an exemption. The county simply lops a chunk off your home's taxable value before the math is done. Knock $50,000 or $60,000 off the value they tax, and your bill drops accordingly. In Texas, for example, the comptroller's own rules give homeowners 65 and older an additional $60,000 school homestead exemption. But here's the catch the state says out loud. You must apply. Contact your local appraisal district and file the form. It is not automatic. The second shape, and this is the powerful one, is a freeze. Now here's where it gets interesting. A freeze locks something in place so it can't keep climbing on you. In Cook County, Illinois, the low-income senior freeze, for homeowners at least 65, under an income limit, freezes the home's assessed value the year you qualify. Texas does its own version for school taxes, a ceiling that holds your school tax amount steady once you turn 65. Imagine your neighbor's bills creeping up year after year while yours sits still. That's a freeze. But I want to be real with you about exactly what a freeze does, because this is where people get fooled. A freeze usually locks the value of your home, not the final dollar amount of your bill. Cook County says it right on the page. Even with a freeze, the tax bill may still increase if the tax rates go up. So a freeze is a powerful shield against rising home values. It is not a magic wall against every increase. I'd rather you know that now than feel let down later. The third shape is a deferral. This one lets you postpone the tax, often until the home is sold or passed on. In Washington state, seniors 60 and older under the income limit can defer, and the deferred amount simply accrues a modest 5% simple interest until it's paid back out of the home later. Illinois lets qualifying seniors defer up to 80% of their equity. A deferral isn't forgiveness. It's a patient loan from the state against your own house, for the person who is house rich but cash tight and just needs to stay put. Now here's the question worth sitting with. If every state has some version of this, and it saves real money, why is that retiree from the beginning still overpaying? You already know the answer, because in most places, none of it happens unless you raise your hand. New York says it in black and white. To get the senior exemption, you file the form with your assessor, and in many places you have to renew it. Most communities set the deadline at March 1st. Miss the window and you've missed that year's savings. A break you never claim is, to the county, simply a break they never have to give. That's not a villain in a back room. That's just a system that quietly keeps the full amount whenever you don't ask. So how much are we talking? I'll hedge, honestly, because the truth depends on where you live. King County, Washington tells seniors the exemption can save them thousands of dollars a year. In other places, it might be a few hundred. But here's the part that makes it matter. It recurs. This isn't a one-time check. It's every year, for as long as you qualify, which for a retiree can be the rest of your life in that home. A few $100s a year, over 10 or 15 years, is real money that stayed in your pocket instead of leaving it. Now here's the part nobody tells you, and it's the whole reason I made this. You do not need to know which of the 3 shapes your state uses. You do not need to read the tax code. You just need to make one call and say the right thing, and that's the deliverable I promised you. So here it is. Pick up the phone and call your county assessor's office. That's the local office that handles your property's value and its exemptions. And USA.gov will help you find your own local government's website if you don't have the number. When someone answers, you say this plainly. I'm a homeowner, I'm 65, or whatever your age is, and I want to know every senior or low-income exemption, freeze, or deferral I qualify for on my home, and how to apply. Then ask the 3 questions that matter. 1. What's the income limit, if any? 2. What's the deadline to apply for this year? 3. Do I have to renew it and when? Write down the answers. That's it. That is the call I promised you at the very start, and now it's yours. If you'd rather start on a computer, there's an even simpler version. Type into your browser your county's name and the words Senior Property Tax Exemption. For instance, Cook County Senior Property Tax Exemption, and look for the result that ends in .gov. That .gov ending is your friend. It means it's the real assessor, not a copycat. And here's the one honest warning, because this channel always gives you the full picture. Applying for this is always free, and you do it yourself, directly with the county. If anyone calls or mails you offering to secure your senior tax break for a fee, slow down. You never pay a stranger to get a discount your own county already offers for nothing. When in doubt, you hang up, and you call the assessor's office yourself. So let's bring this home. Most states offer seniors property tax relief in one of 3 shapes. An exemption that lowers your taxable value, a freeze that locks it against rising prices, or a deferral that postpones the bill. The rules change by state and county, so I can't hand you one magic number, but I can hand you the call that finds yours, and the savings don't happen once. They come back year after year, for as long as you stay in that home. Remember that retiree from the very beginning, paying more than the law ever asked every single year, with no idea the break was sitting there? That doesn't have to be you anymore. Make that one call this week. Picture them a year from now, opening a smaller bill, knowing they finally asked. That's the whole difference between the person who overpays quietly forever and the person who picked up the phone. If this helped you or made you think of a parent or neighbor on a fixed income who's probably overpaying right now, do me a favor and tap the like button and send it their way. It costs you nothing, and it might put real money back in someone's pocket every year. And take a look at the video on screen next, where I show you the billions in unclaimed money the states are holding, and the free 2-minute search that could turn up a check with your name on it. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.